G'day and welcome to Kenty Blitz, your daily hit of NRL news in Grand Final week. And Grand Finals week has a little bit of a spanner in the works, Kenty, with Teddy Swims has apparently swum.
Yeah, look, we don't know. Look, a lot of speculation going around. It came out yesterday. He has cancelled 2 concerts in Hawaii, which was going to happen on the way over here. The hope is that he did that to save his voice for the grand final, but there is a little bit of a concern and depending on who you listen to, a bit of a whisper that he might not play this weekend. He might not be recovered enough to sing. Andrew Abdo spoke this morning. He did speak about that. He said that they've been assured that he will play before the grand final, so he'll put on his show. So we'll wait and see, but it's just putting a little bit of spice in the week.
I don't know if anyone really cares, do they? Maybe they do. I don't know.
Mate, I've seen 1,000 of them. 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was there, the famous Billy Idol one that night where he came out and he kept going around the hovercraft going, I love rock and roll. And
42nd Street where the music didn't get played.
42nd, they forgot to bring the cassette the cassette tape to play the music. Honestly, there's one in the 70s where Bob Abbott, one of the secretaries in the New South Wales Rugby League at the time, they forever called him Balloons Abbott after that because he, before the game and it was all ready to go, they didn't bring anything to pump up the balloons.
Oh, God.
So
you had to blow them up, the poor bastard.
And Ian Hedge used to tell me the story about it
and
about how poor old, and forever on he just called him Balloons Abbott and how he he nearly had a heart attack, the poor bug. Like there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of balloons that had to get blown up. And basically anybody that walked past was like, mate, can you just grab in and just give us 10 minutes to blow up some balloons? But poor old Bob Abbott, he was there the whole way through. So
they don't seem to have the same entertainment. Remember they used to have the guys on parachutes, you know, and they used to land on the top.
They did that. They sort of got it. Look, every little bit of entertainment gets a bit naff after a while. Yeah. Unfortunately, the NRL and the AFL are in this silent arms race about who has the best pre-game entertainment. And Snoop, I saw a little bit of him on the news.
He was pretty good.
He looked okay.
This is like your kind of man, Kenty.
Yeah, I don't mind Snoop. Yeah. So it was interesting given his background and his history and things he supports and he's spoken about and what he sings about, that they would have him as an act in a game that presents itself to be so wholesome. But the whole thing about the entertainment, I think we're almost at a point now where the game has overtaken it again. There was a period there where that was a big part of the sell, but the entertainment doesn't get me there.
All right, Teddy Swims is out. Who you got? Who's coming in?
Well, if he's out, look.
Oh, if he's out, yep, sorry.
If he's out. Look, I don't know. Jelly Roll's currently touring, or not far away anyway if he's not.
Just for anybody at home, that's Kenty's pump-up music before he comes on.
It mellows me out a bit, to be honest. So look, I don't really know. I don't know of any big acts in Australia at the moment. Because the other part too, I don't think it's something you can just whack up in a couple of days.
No.
It really does take some preparation.
Well, 40 years of working class man, so Jimmy Barnes, that'll do, won't it?
Well, look, I'm sure he's on speed dial down there at NRL headquarters. Look, and I tell you what, I remember I got in a blue some years ago. When Amy Shark was on, and I said, look, why can't we just get someone with someone that can play guitar? You know what I mean? Get up and just give a bit of rock music. That's the rugby league audience. And her partner, Shane, rang me up and said to me, look, mate, she can play guitar. And I said, look, I wasn't having a go at Amy as such. I said, it's just the kind of music that rugby league fans want. Bit of hard rock, bit of good guitar, all the rest of it. And he was adamant. He said, look, we'll come around to your place one day. We'll have a barbie. He said, she'll bring a guitar. She can sit and play a few songs. And he's a nice fellow, Shane. I've got to know him since.
You didn't take her up on that? That would have been good.
I think the offer's still there, to be honest. Might hit
Christmas
her up.
Party. Christmas party. Anyway, let's move on. So Teddy's come out today and said that he's out
the
of
other Teddy.
The other Teddy, not Teddy Swims. Teddy Tedesco has come out and said he's out of the Kangaroo Tour.
Yeah, look, that's just a bit of small news, bit of sort of housekeeping on the way through. He's come out, he said that. It's interesting what's going to do to the makeup. We all thought, look, we're pretty confident he'll win the Dally M tomorrow night. There's a thought that he would maybe steal back that Australian #1 jersey.
He won the RLPA Player of the Year last night.
He's just had a great season. And nothing's been by chance with this season. It's not, sometimes a guy will come out and just have a breakout season, and you go, things took teams a little while to figure you out. James Tedesco has just been magnificent all season. Everyone knows what he does. They just can't stop it. And I think that was well deserved last night with the RLPA Player of the Year. I think he'll win the Dally M. I'm old school too, was when it comes to representation as far as jerseys with Origin or the Kangaroos, I think I'm not a big believer in the incumbent. I get it.
Okay.
And I understand it. And I think if it's 50-50, go the incumbent.
You don't agree it's theirs to lose?
I don't. I don't. I think it's a representative jersey. And when you retire, people say to you, how many times did you play for Australia? And there have been players in the past who have had small representation because other players have held the jersey and they've just been regarded as the incumbent and nobody wants to move them on. And there's 3 tests going to be played this year. Now, he's not going to go Tedesco, but he is worthy of being picked for those 3 tests. He certainly had a better season than Dylan Edwards, who's the incumbent Australian fullback.
Absolutely.
And I actually think Reece Walsh will be named at fullback for Australia when they tour in a few weeks when they leave.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Kevy Walters will name him as the Australian fullback. He's played on the wing, I believe, for Australia before. So I think that's just. I think that's something that you hang on the wall, not literally, but when you finish.
Yeah.
I played 12 Origins, had 14 tests or whatever, and to sit there and say, look, instead of I earned my way into 14 tests, but I only played 6 because for 8 of them, another guy was regarded as the incumbent. Therefore, he couldn't. They didn't want to move him on. I just don't agree with that. Like I said, if it's 50-50, go that way. But when you're James Tedesco, you had a clearly better season than Dylan Edwards, and particularly at Origin time, same thing. He should have been picked for Origin.
So the Kangaroo Tour group gets named the week after the grand final, and there's only 22 players in that touring team.
Yeah, that's fair call. Like back in the old
reserve, 17 plus 5, I guess.
Well, there's 9 sit on the bench. Okay, yeah, obviously they're not all 9 sit together, but 9 won't run on. But back in the old days when they had the 3-month Kangaroo Tour, I think they took away 26 or 28 players. But they'll play midweek games and a lot of that. These guys, there won't be the amount of football that they've got, so they won't need the positions. Essentially, he'll just want his starting 13 and then his bench rotation, however that works. Obviously, injuries are going to be part of it, so you just need to cover every position. But that's fair enough. 22 is more than enough, I think, for a 3-test tour.
Yeah, okay. I want to ask you to give me a couple of bolters.
Well, look, all the bolters have really been spoken about. Whether no one going to need to ask, he goes away. It appears that Kevy's going to pick him. I know the NRL were, before he made his announcement that he was going to go back to rugby, there was a lot of, shall I say, support from the NRL for Kevy to pick him because they're hoping that might be enough to keep him in rugby league.
Okay, well, Kenty, I'm just going to ask something for the viewers to leave your comments down the bottom in YouTube. Tell us who your bolters are for the Kangaroo Tour. We'll go through them tomorrow. On the
I think Ethan Strange will be a big bolter. We know about that. Blake Brayley will be a bolter given he hasn't played Origin or Australia. So they're probably the 2 rookies that I think Kevy will take away. The rest will be fairly established players. Once they get through, I'm not sure was just on the other part, how many players yet have declared their allegiance to Samoa or Tonga or the other Pacific Nations teams that are playing in the Pacific Nations Championships, which are also coming up. So, look, to be fair, Kevy will have all that before him when he picks the team, but it can be a little bit confusing until we're really clear on who's in and who's out. But I'm sure those 2 blokes, Brayley and Strange, will go away with the Kangaroos.
And with the grand final and injuries still to come as well.
Well, that's a big part of it. And I think Reece Walsh will be the number 1 for Australia.
Yep. So, Kenny, the NRL grand final breakfast was this morning, and they'll tell you a little bit about the Dally M. So I want to ask you who your picks are for the Dally M's, which is tomorrow night, I think, Wednesday night.
Yeah, Tedesco will be
Player of the Year, you think?
It's a funny one, the Dally M's, because the Dally M Player of the Year goes on the system. It's now a 6-point system, which I don't agree with. I don't like the way they do it now, and these anonymous judges who are not accountable to the points they give out.
Were you a judge for that ever?
Yeah, I used to be, I back in the day. And then what would happen was your name would go, when the points would come up, it'd have Parramatta versus South Sydney, Judge Paul Kent, and then 3, 2 and 1.
So was that when you were at the telly or at
the Telegraph?
Fox? Yeah, right.
Telegraph, yeah. So, and that was the way it worked for a while. Then the funny thing is, people used to bitch and moan, not agree with who the judge is, and in the end, journos know nothing, get ex-players in. I sat there once, was when I was in the press box at a game, and this is after they got rid of the journos because they don't know anything about rugby league, got the players in. And there was a player who was a judge on the game who was in one of the corporate boxes next to me. And he spent the whole game with his back to the game just talking to people.
Yeah, right.
And the next day I saw his points in there and I just thought, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how they do it. But, look, the one thing I say, for all the criticism that the journos did cop, I challenge anybody to go through and name a person that won the award that didn't deserve to win the award. So... Anyway, look, we wait and see. I don't like the current system, though. I think you should be there to do that.
So who votes for it now?
Well, the other it's basically ex-players at the NRL. The NRL don't even disclose who the judges are anymore, which again is fraught with danger. And again, if you don't know who the judge is, and I don't want to bring this up, but there's been judges who have given points that people haven't played. Righto? Okay. So all this anonymity and secrecy that the NRL's got, I think it's just to cover their own backside. Okay, because honestly, some of the howlers.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, there's a couple of good ones.
Very good.
But anyway, the other part is which I think is also a bit of a funny one. Ricky Stewart will probably win Coach of the Year. Deserves to win Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
But there'll be a bit of an argument now over, given they went lost in the finals and then went out the back door. Now,
Cleary didn't even get in the top 3, I heard.
Well, what happens is the way the votes are cast. So with the playing awards, the Player of the Year, it's every week and you judge on maximum of 6 points on the weekly games to say it right. But for the Coach of the Year, for the Rookie of the Year, and I think for even the positional awards, in fact, yes, it is right for the positional awards, except for the positional awards, it goes to the judging panel, pool, whoever they are, these men in masks, and they basically are asked to vote on who they think. Who do you think is Coach of the Year? Who do you think is Captain of the Year? Who do you think is Rookie of the Year? And now that's the thing. Now, so that vote then finds the winner, except if you are, and because this has happened before too, except if you're Player of the Year, you have to win your position, because a few years back, a player was going to win Player of the Year, but not win his position as the halfback of the year. So they had to try and address that on the run as well.
Yeah,
so these sorts of things come into place. But the problem is that there's this whole groupthink mentality that happens as you get towards the end of the year and people start making, I think he's Coach of the Year, I think he's Captain of the Year and all the rest of it. A lot of these judges who don't follow the game as closely as they should and probably don't think as independently as they should, they just listen to what everyone's talking about. And, I'm happy with Ricky Stewart as Coach of the Year. I'm happy with James Tedesco as Captain of the Year, whoever that's going to be. It'll probably be Captain of the Year is going to be a hard one, actually. I'd probably say, if I'm going to throw my hat in the ring, I'd probably say Nathan Cleary will be Captain of the Year. But
Rookie of the Year?
Rookie of the Year, well, Nwanga Nunuasi is ineligible. So I think Halasima from the Warriors will get it. Again, though, he is a guy who came in halfway through the season, had a big burst, got a lot of support. But the other one, and this is where I'm saying, if the recent thinking is a lot of talk about Halasima winning it. If it was me voting though, I would vote for Robert Toya, who after 3 games got picked in Origin, was outstanding at Origin. You wouldn't have thought he was a rookie in any capacity.
Absolutely.
And I thought that he played well, but this is my concern about this. Like I said, because the vote takes place after round 27, Halasima had a big finish to the year. The Roosters they were going okay, obviously, but Toya, his heroics from Origin had largely sort of started to diminish. So I think he'll sort of get forgotten about. And then, like I said, the independent thinkers, there's a few of them So they won't come out and say, hang on, what about Toya when what he was doing back during Origin time? Everyone just listens to all the conversation about Halasima and off it goes. So
what was the difference between the Dally M and the Rothmans?
The Rothmans was 3-2. The Rothmans was exactly like the Brownlow. Every week, 3-2-1, voted upon by the referee. The referee judged it. And then in 1980, the Dally M started.
Rothmans was cigarettes, right?
Rothmans cigarettes. That's why it died, because it was Rothmans cigarettes. It used to turn up. The Rothmans Medal night. The Rothmans Medal night used to turn up. There'd be a carton of cigarettes. Like at your table, not at your table, but at your your chair. Every 8 chairs at the table, 8 cartons of cigarettes for everybody.
That's unbelievable.
People just sit around smoking. Like some blokes used to just, look at this. Some guys would work halfway through the pack in a night because they knew they could take 3 or 4 cartons home to get left on the table. And there was always a stink. There was always
$50 odd a pack back then.
I don't know what they were, mate. I've never smoked, so. And then. There was always a stick. There was always some player who would just size up some journo and just just unload and square up and it's a bit of a scuffle going on. Everyone get in and pull them apart and all sorts of things. Yeah, it was and then everyone back to the bourbon and beefsteak after that and off it would go.
Good times.
It was the Wild West.
Before phones, obviously.
Oh, look, before a lot of things. It was.
Take us back there, Kenty. Take us back there.
Mate, it was one of those things, though, that, there was some, just stupid stuff that went on, but it just used to live on in folklore and no one ever got hurt and everyone just had a good time. And, the amount of phone calls the next day, oh, look, mate, I screwed up last night, mate. I'm really sorry. There's all sorts of stuff going on. I was only a kid when I was going. It was pretty funny. But that killed it. The Rothman sponsorship killed it. And also the fact that when David Fairley won it, someone leaked the results of the papers that they had who first, second and third in correct order and a whole lot. Wow. So bookies copped the bath off that. So
any other time the bookies cop a bath on the Dally M's?
Dally M's,
That's a loaded question, by the way.
I know it's a loaded question. But even still with that, again...
So give us that story quickly.
Well, when I bet on Craig Bellamy, I'll tell you what happened. So the Dally M's were on. The vote goes in after the last round, but back then I think it was round 26. And then on the Monday before the grand final, the Dally M's on the Wednesday. I'm going to throw him in. Fletcher rings me up, and we were sharing tips today on the races.
Bryan Fletcher.
He rings me up and goes, mate, have you seen what's happened? I said, what? He said, the Tabs just suspended betting on Coach of the Year. Bellamy's come in from, I think it was $7.50 to $1.80, but Sportsbet has still got it going. So we didn't load it up. I had $100 on it. And Fletcher had $100 on it. And anyway, little did we know it had been leaked, because I have this theory that if something shortens that quickly, it's been leaked. And so I said, for $100, look, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Right? So, anyway. Is there
any recourse from that?
Recourse, on page 1 of the Sydney Morning Herald, me and Fletch under investigation. What they were trying to do, they're being mischievous about it. What they were trying to do was leak it to the fact that because Fox was televising it, that Fox had spoken about it, and Fletch and I got the inside running from Fox. But Fox, to my recollection, didn't get told until the Wednesday. This is what saved us. They didn't get told till the Wednesday what the results were. We put the bet on the Monday when the market got shut down.
Wasn't there 2 young blokes who got?
Some young blokes. The guys the NRL had employed to collate all the results, all the votes.
They loaded up.
They went out, got full of drink, said to their mates, "We know who's won, Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, all that." They're so naive, these blokes, because this came out when they went in and pleaded guilty. They were so naive that their mates all didn't have betting accounts, but just went straight on the betting apps, open up accounts, put $1,000 in, put the whole $1,000 on Craig Bellamy to win, and expected the bookies to go, "Oh, there's nothing unusual about this." So that's where it all got out. But that was weeks before. That had happened weeks before. Like that Monday where we put the bet on. So anyway, $100. I had the coppers knocking on my door. I said, "Mate, it's $100." And you
didn't collect.
Yeah, collected.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
No, the thing about it was though, they told me, I don't believe it, but they told me that they everybody that had $100 or more on the result, they had to interview. And I said, guys, come on. Like, seriously. Well, yeah, of course it was, but anyway.
Very good.
So
all right.
it was all fun. Mate, this is what happens sometimes.
That's in the old days. That's
Mate, that's only about 4 years ago. Like,
I was trying to get you out of that. Jeez.
Mate, who cares? I did nothing wrong, so.
Yeah, I'll back you.
Look, not the first.
Not
for the first
not
or the
Fletch.
last
I won't
time.
back him. Mate, Valenti spoke this morning about R360. It's interesting because we were speaking about it the other day, and he said that the clubs have come out, maybe they're listening to the podcast, shout out to you guys, and said they want to come out hard based on what's happening. That they believe that players from the NRL will be going and they want to...
Well, yeah, after yesterday's show we had a chat, and you have some contacts that I don't have, and you're adamant, if I can say this actually, you're adamant that, and you name the players, but I'm not going to name them. You're adamant the players have already signed with R360, waiting for it to happen. I've heard whispers of other players, so it all adds up to me. Like I said, though, I don't know what the NRL really can do. Yes, they can bandy together and they can say you're barred, but if there's any kind of class action, if R360 wants to protect those players and take action against the NRL, I don't think the NRL can win.
No.
Okay. Now, that said, they can, and I tried to explain this with the Super League War, some people got confused over it, but they said then you can't ban them from playing, but the court, the law system cannot order those clubs to pick them. So that's what will happen. It's just whether there's going to be any honour among thieves among the NRL clubs. They are getting on much better than they used to. So if there's an honour among thieves there, they may say, you know what, let's make a blanket rule. Won't be official. We're just not going to sign these guys up, or we're not going to allow them back into rugby league. I've always thought, though, was rugby league. It depends on your age, okay? But when Sonny Bill Williams left the game, everyone, oh no, what are we going to do? Well, we got on with it.
Yeah.
Didn't really miss him.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 years ago, we were all fretting about Suoliti going. Well, he's been forgotten about. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean that in a disparaging way.
Yeah.
But the game has just got such a capacity to just find new talent and new superstars, and I don't think the game will really miss it unless they come through and absolutely decimate the rosters.
Yeah, which they won't.
Which they can't. No. I just don't think they can. Look, for a start.
I'll cherry pick.
Well, for a start, I don't reckon that you could find half a dozen forwards in the game who would easily go into rugby union and adjust that quickly that they would be.
Maybe playing the centres.
Well, yeah. Anyway, they're all in the back line. So I don't think it's as bigger threat as what we think.
Yeah, let's stop 360. We've had enough. Let's talk about Sunday footy because Sunday grand final because Valenti's again today was talking about the new contract, broadcast contract deal coming out in 2028, and part of that deal could be that an NRL grand finals on a Sunday.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of hype about nothing, to be honest.
Okay.
So this is what you've got to remember. The NRL's had record crowds this season.
Yep.
Okay, record averages, highest crowd figure ever. And I mean in total, over the 27 rounds with all clubs collated. So that's one thing. They've also had record ratings in weeks 1, 2, and 3 of the preliminary finals. Not only the day games, but also the night games. There's been 3 day games through the finals. All have been great. All have been record scores, but so have the night games.
Yep.
And where it all come unstuck for me is when the grand final gets played this week, if, again, it's a record grand final viewing, well, you can't put that down now to a daytime game.
Yeah, true.
You can't. And so that's going to then confuse the water and muddy the water. And the thing about that is, given we've already had record ratings weeks 1, 2, and 3 of the finals, there's every expectation that the grand final will follow that path and also be a record rating, which does nothing to clarify the situation, whether it's actually day games or whether it's the game just as a whole on the way up, which I think is probably the case. And I think the beneficiary of that has been the day games have also got some love.
I wonder, though, if you play a day game at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock, surely you've got no competition on the other, apart from Gilligan's Island on Channel 7 or something. You've got nothing else, right?
Yeah, but
whereas if you play at night, you've got Buddy the Amazing Race and Survivor.
But you just it doesn't matter. You just murder those. It's that's regarded as prime time.
Yep.
Which is important.
Yeah.
And the other thing,
because it's advertising
it's money. It's money. And let's be honest. We saw how agile the NRL was during COVID.
Yes.
If it was such a no-brainer that a daytime grand final would deliver this boom.
Yeah, good point.
Don't you think the broadcasters would go, hey, we're all for it. It's going to benefit us, but it won't benefit them. The broadcasters want the night games. I think it's too late kicking off at 8 o'clock, 10 to 8, whatever they do. They brought that into the grand final. They made that earlier because they realised that. But we saw last week, for example, the Melbourne game kicked off at 10 to 8. It was too late at night. They've got to bring that down, get rid of all that empty pre-game and not pre-game analysis. There's just too much of it. Guys are just trying to think of things to say. So they've got to get rid of that. They don't lose anything by bringing it in. But what they do by putting the game on later, they broaden the window that they dominate the ratings, which then just delivers the win that they've paid for. So, look, it's a lot of backroom stuff. If it really worked as a daytime grand final, it'd be there next year because the broadcasters go, yep, you beauty, we're on board as well. But we'll wait and see.
So, Kenty, one of the big announcements about the grand final is Grant Atkins appears to have got the nod over Ashley Klein.
Oh, no, he's got the nod. We knew that was coming yesterday. Okay. Klein.
They confirmed that?
Yeah, it's been confirmed. And Klein blew it in that game on the weekend. He just... I've got a different reason why I don't like Klein as the head. Everyone blew up about how many penalties you blew. 18 penalties in the game. Everyone says too many. I don't believe that narrative. I think if there's 18 infringements that are worth a penalty, blow the penalty. And the danger was saying, okay, I'm only going to go out and blow, you don't publicly announce this, but if you have this mindset, you're only going to go out and blow 8 penalties, coaches will take you on and it'll turn into a wrestle-a-thon. They'll be offside and they'll do that the whole game because they know in the back of their mind, guys, he's only going to blow 8 penalties and once he's blown them, he won't blow any more because the crowd will boo and everyone will say, mate, you've had a dud game, you're a shocking referee. So there's that subtle part behind it. And if the teams infringe 18 times, penalise them 18 times. But where Klein has been blowing it all year, he did it in Origin and he's done it in the finals, is the big calls. The amount of times the bunker has saved him because he's made a call that you think, well, this is significant. This has got to have repercussions. And then the bunker will overturn him.
He appears to have lost his confidence a bit, Klein.
Well, I think he was trying to penalise his way out of it on the weekend. He was nitpicking to try and slow the game down, and keep his head clear and essentially just stay on top of the game. He doesn't like the game to flow because it gets away from him. And that's why I think Atkins is a good appointment. He's I don't know him. I know his father. His father's a champion, Graham Atkins, a little nuggety winger on the wing for Parramatta.
I thought he might have blown his chance last week on the weekend when he didn't put someone in the bin for that blue.
Didn't put Liam Martin in the bin.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit.
Well, the irony of that was a week before Hudson Young gets put in the bin for basically stirring a guy up.
Yeah, true.
Liam Martin runs 20 metres to get involved, swings his arm, and doesn't get put in the bin. So he did get clipped about that. But who knows, mate? I just hope he has a trouble-free game, and it just runs through it. I know that both coaches will be really making sure he's tested come the game.
How does his appointment make the statement yesterday from Utoi Kamanu? Do you think it was a tactic for them to test Atkins?
I think I've had a few people talk to me about whether they think it was as innocent as what it appeared, and that whether
preemptive strike of some sorts.
Melbourne might have known it was going to get said.
Okay,
which would then basically put it all out there for everybody to know what's going on, and let Atkins know where it's going to go on, and sort of get him ready to say, okay, this is the way this game's going to be played, and this is the way they want to play. So like when two fighters sometimes come together they start brawling and getting a bit ugly. And it was like Jeff Fennick did it once when he fought Marcus Villasana, and they started headbutting each other and whatnot. And the referee just said, you know what?
Go for it.
If you want to keep fighting like that and you're both happy to do it, go ahead.
Yep.
And we might get that this week.
Very good. A little bit of signing news. Lewis Dodd has been released by the Rabbitohs.
Oh, yeah. Hasn't that been?
6 games.
That's the world's longest kill, that one. 6 games, lost them all. Never a fan. Wayne Bennett was never a fan.
Lost a lot, did he?
He did not win a game in the Rabbitohs jersey. I think he played 80 minutes twice. Obviously lost both those games. And look, Wayne was never a fan, and I feel sorry for him. Wayne didn't sign him. Wayne didn't want him at the club. Wayne made that quite clear when he was asked earlier in the year. They said, look, is his form a concern? He said, maybe it's not his form, maybe it's his talent.
But I heard Demetrio say that he didn't sign him either.
Yes, that's true too. There's the fascination about South Sydney. There's a blame game going on as to who actually was responsible for signing him.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing for him. Mate, Curry Knockout starts this weekend. We've got Addo Carr playing for the Sydney All Blacks.
Yeah, good
I
on
hope
him.
that's on TV. It's
It is. It'll be on Fox.
Yeah, okay.
I watched the Curry Knockout.
Yeah, it's quite good.
Oh, mate, it's fast and loose.
Good stinks.
But you know what? I tell you what, just the natural talent some guys do. Like you'll see a guy just get tackled and all of a sudden he'll just pop a ball out and you just think, geez, mate, what?
And a few of those old blokes come back, like Joel Thompson and a few of those.
Yeah, that's good.
They're ready for the stink.
Yeah.
I saw him up on the Gold Coast not so long ago. Geez, he's a fit bastard still.
Well, that's
Joel
why he can
Thompson.
come back and play.
Yeah, very good.
He's a nice guy, Joel Thompson. Real good fella.
All right, Kenty. Well, that's it for us for today. Remember, Ask Kenty's on tomorrow, so put your comments down below. And thanks again, Kenty, for another good one. You're in good form today, mate. Well done. Until tomorrow. See you then. Bye-bye.